Greg, have you been told anything about the new game that we're playing today with you?
I have not.
You don't know.
Scares me.
You don't know anything. That I saw last night. There were a group of people scheming and devising because I asked them. I'm like, the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody has a segment that I want and I want to steal that takes advantage of how little you know about movies, but let's deceive and disguise it so that people don't know that we're stealing it. And I asked Zaz and Chris and Roy and Tony to come up with a plan to do a movie game with you because I thought the best part of yesterday's show was you thinking that Al Pacino was in Bull Durham and you thinking that Al Pacino was in Raging Bull and you thinking that the line...
You're not man enough for the truth.
In A Few Good Men was you're not man enough for the truth.
Right.
And so I want to take advantage of your general lack of movie knowledge. And you didn't know until now that we're doing that. I see from your body language you don't like it.
Yeah, it's
Into the mic.
I'm into the mic. I'm annoyed.
With the game? Oh, wow, $5. Into the mic, what you do is you clear your throat in the mic. You don't talk into the mic, but you clear your throat directly into the mic.
All right.
The chair.
This is Grand Theft Show bit.
We're doing it differently,
Oh,
though.
no, yeah, right. You're not calling it Greg Doesn't Know Movies. It's just the exact same premise.
It's kind of the exact same premise. It has the foundational sameness.
A little
the
tweak,
premise.
though.
A little tweak.
But
okay.
it does have. It's got. It's not a little tweak. I think it's a different game.
Yeah. Next, you're going to come from dad jokes, and you're going to steal 3 Facts Jack. Pretty soon, my whole show will be usurped by the Le Batard Show. I'll have no show left. It'll just be me singing and yodeling into a mic, and nobody will be listening. It'll be the sad
Yodeling?
ending.
When did yodeling end? Anybody got an idea of when it is that yodeling?
No, they're still killing it.
No, yodeling is absolutely not killing it.
Yeah, it's still big in the Swiss Alps.
Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Is yodeling still big in the Swiss Alps?
I got the internet telling me yodeling has never truly ended.
It's true. It's eternal. It used to be big in country music back in the country and western days.
Put it
in
on the
40s
poll
and
as
50s.
well at Le Batard Show. Was yodeling ever big in country music? And also put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is yodeling still a thing?
Are there different variations of yodeling? Because to me, it's just yodele, 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 hee-hoo.
What's funny about this is I'm thinking that yodeling is so old that there are generations right now that before you made that sound had no idea what yodeling was. None.
So the yodeling golden age, according to the internet, is 1920s to 1950s. That's when it was just absolutely rocking. Greg, obviously you'd know that.
But it started to fade in the 50s.
But they need another banger. All they have is what I just said. What's the other known one?
I basically I associate that with Price is Right.
Cliffhanger.
Changing on the fly. Hit checks and tricks are gonna make them cheer. But the bombs start to chirp and riding high. Now it's time for action. Tonight's gonna burn this barn right up. Slap shot will light the lamp so nice. Let's go for a breakaway on the chase to raise the cup. We'll be standing on our heads till we meet them at center ice. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack. Baby, and we'll meet you at center ice.
Chris Cody, get those famous movie quotes going to see how long we can do this with your father over several segments because his movie knowledge is not great, and we have some famous movie clips to play for you and to have you guess perhaps where the movie is from. Oh, you're already defeated? You're already beaten down by this?
I don't know movies. I'm not a movie goer. I'm not a movie knower.
That's a shirt right there, man.
It is. Just play one of these real quick. Any of
Ooh,
your
are we playing our game show?
Well, oh, wow. Okay, we already got the imaging. sounds like just a terrible 1980s
I'm
video
excited.
game.
Terrible.
That music sounds terrible.
Here's our first movie line for Greg Cody.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother.
All right, I heard the MF. What was the first thing he said?
Yippee-ki-yay.
No,
Yippee-ki-yay,
Yippee-ki-yay,
mother.
no, you don't know what that is.
Saving Private Ryan.
Oh my God.
Saving Corporal Ryan, the sequel. I don't know. I don't know it.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother.
How would I know that? Although yippee-ki-yay
How would
is a
you
form of
know
yodeling,
that?
in my opinion.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is Yippee-ki-yay a form of yodeling? It's a good game. It's not good music, but just keep it in the holster. Is he going to get any of these? If he doesn't get this, is he going
He
to get
should have
any
gotten
of this?
that.
Should have gotten that. What is it then?
It made its way. It's from Die Hard. It's Bruce Willis, but it made its way from the movies into pop culture. Like the reason this is going to be funny is not just because they're famous movies or they're easy to get. They're things that have springboarded from the movies into just being a part of the fabric of popular culture. So when I say yippee-ki-yay about anything to anyone, they know the movie I'm referencing because Bruce Willis made it more famous than it originally was.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother.
So that was Willis's voice?
Yes.
I feel like yippee-ki-yay, like the Lone Ranger and Tonto were saying yippee-ki-yay.
You know who Bruce Willis is, right? From Moonlighting.
Yeah, I've heard of him. I've
You,
heard of Bruce Willis.
You say you recognize his voice, and I actually asked this question of somebody recently, and I had never considered it before. Is the voice unique to every single human being on Earth, that there is no one anywhere in the world who has Greg Cody's voice? There's not somebody in India who sounds exactly like Greg Cody. Are all voices like fingerprints that no one in the world sounds like exactly someone else?
A voice doppelganger?
You guys, when I ask that question, and I don't think of them as fingerprints, I assume someone in the world has the same voice that I do. I assume that they're not fingerprints, but I may have this wrong.
My brother and I have a very similar voice, so much so that when we talk to my mom or my wife or his wife, they don't know who's talking. Is it me? Is it my brother? So we're very close in voice.
I mean, you may remember it was a few years ago, right? If you were watching Marlins games, I couldn't tell the difference between who was talking between Severino and Hollingsworth.
That was a good one. That's a great shout.
When I ask the question, though, you have to guess and be right, not look at the internet or anything else. And put this on the poll, Juju at Le Batard Show. Does anyone else in the world have exactly the same voice that you do? Yes or no? Because I did not. They say snowflakes. They're all different. I'm not talking about
The same.
political snowflakes. I don't know if that's true or not. But fingerprints, they're all unique to us. They're all unique to each person. I didn't think voice was. Did you?
I never gave it much thought, to be honest with you, but I think the clear answer is no. Nobody else has a voice exactly like yours. I think
seems
the
like
keyword
there
is
would,
exactly.
Yeah, but it seems like there would be so many people in the world that just simply mathematically there wouldn't be that many different alterations and degrees and shades of voice possible to cover all of the people in the world. There wouldn't be more choices on degrees of what voices sound like than the number of people there have ever been on the world, because it's not just people right now. It's ever. No one's ever had your voice. There's not some dude in the 1800s who was talking just like Zaz.
So,
Yeah.
are we excluding twins here?
I don't want to do this
that's
again.
kind
Can we
of
move on
cheating.
from this?
Yeah.
Chris,
Thank you.
Chris, do they sound the same?
That's kind of cheating a little bit.
No, it's not cheating.
In terms of unusual, weird questions that don't have anything to do with anything, also on my way in this morning, I thought about this. It can't be just specific to me. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Do you lose respect for the guy in a suit when he's riding a scooter? Yes or no? Yes or no? It's just, do you lose respect for the guy in the suit when you see him on the roads on a scooter?
With a helmet on?
Yes, with the helmet. Yes.
Clearly.
But I'm actually not even talking. I'm not even talking about that kind of scooter because what I saw today is the skateboard scooter, like whatever that Segway, whatever those called. I don't know if they would have another name other.
Is it just the one wheel in the middle and the guy's trying to like?
It's not one wheel in the middle. I don't think that. Wait,
I've seen those. Those are
that's
crazy.
the circus. Wait a minute. There's one wheel in the middle. I think of these vehicles as all having at least 2 wheels.
No. The one that I'm talking about, it's like a skateboard, but the wheel is in the middle. So you're balancing it, and the wheel's in the middle. Those things haul.
That's
ass.
a tricycle.
No, tricycle's 3. Try.
I was talking about.
That's a unicycle.
Compare it.
I'm talking about the the scooter I'm talking about where you're standing on it. You're not sitting on it.
I get it. Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes, they've been around a while.
No, do you lose respect? Yes or no?
Oh, yeah. No, it's jarring. I mean, it's jarring. Like, it'd be like driving and looking in the next lane, and the guy driving the car next to you is wearing a full clown outfit, including the big red nose. When you see
The scooter is a clown, is what you're saying?
Well, when you see it, it's jarring to look at. You know, you assume that the person driving a scooter is going to be, just some ne'er-do-well.
Whoa.
You don't assume it's going to be a businessman.
Ne'er-do-well.
Why do you assume that about the scooter? I don't
It's a
do any
scooter.
profiling based on the scooter except for losing respect for the guy who's in a suit.
Well,
that's the only profiling I'm willing
I feel like
to do.
you're playing the similar game, just saying it differently.
I profile. Yeah, I don't mind saying that. Here's another example I'll give you. When I see a grown man riding a bicycle, I assume he's had a DUI and temporarily lost his license. It's
I
as
was
simple as
riding a
that.
bike yesterday.
Okay, well,
I was
so don't drink and drive.
Look at Le Batard racking up Deweys.
Why?
People assume that when they see a grown man riding a bike.
This is a bicycle town. Like this
No,
is.
the only exception is if in here, if you're doing this, they assume you're an idiot. If you're riding a bicycle, but it's a souped-up bike, and you're dressed like Lance Armstrong, with all the get-up and the bright.
I did that
Enough
yesterday.
of those guys, dude.
A heavy-set person wearing the skin tight is never good.
Yeah, you can't do that, Dan.
If I see your ass crack, I don't want to see you in a biking outfit.
He's not wrong.
Really, already.
I'm going to be worn out by this bit.
Let's go ahead and play the next movie sound.
I see dead people.
Oh, now that phrase I know.
But you don't know the movie?
No.
This is every time with Greg doesn't know movies. He's like, oh, yes, I know this guy, but he doesn't.
I know I see dead people.
I see dead people.
What is the premise of it?
I assume it's a horror movie. See, I'm putting two and two together
but
there.
not really. It's not. It's
not.
not.
Ratatouille. Ratatouille.
What?
No.
No?
So wait, you went from
The Shining. The Shining. That's the better answer because The Shining.
Still the wrong answer.
I've seen
Better
that
answer,
movie.
yeah.
It's a better answer, but only because nothing could be worse than Ratatouille. Like you went from horror movie to a cartoon. Like that
I
doesn't
believe
even
they
make
call them animated films, Dan.
It doesn't even make sense what you just did.
I know
there.
it really doesn't.
This is another Bruce Willis vehicle. Does that help you at all?
Now that's not Willis talking, right?
He's right about that. He's right.
Let me say something about
Nailed
Bruce,
it.
Let me say something about Bruce Willis.
All right.
And I know he's going
boy.
through health issues. I don't mean a criticism about Bruce Willis, but very nondescript voice. Like when you hear an Al Pacino or a De Niro, they have a very distinct voice. You know exactly who it is.
You didn't know either of those guys.
Bruce Willis, I don't think has a distinctive voice.
But that's not him.
Who's wrong?
You're deflecting right now.
You're wrong.
Am I wrong?
You are wrong.
Nobody in the history of mimicry has done a Bruce Willis impersonation.
That might be true.
Do you know what the premise of the movie is, or you have no idea anything we're talking about?
The dead people?
It's a spoiler.
dead people?
Yes. Yes.
No, I don't know what movie it is, so how would I know?
All right. So, spoiler alert. Does this help you at all? It's a movie that has a plot twist at the end that reveals that everything it is that you have been watching beforehand was an altered sense of reality. The plot twist at the end is I see dead people. That's the plot twist.
That's lazy of the filmmaker. That's like I hate it when filmmakers do this. You devote 90 minutes of your life to watching a film, and then in the very end, you find out it was all a dream.
That's not what.
It was all a dream.
That's not
None
what-
of it happened.
All right. That's not
Ridiculous.
what happened.
Ridiculum.
All right. The name of the movie is The Sixth Sense. We'll put this
Okay.
aside for the moment because I think he's going to go 0 for 12.
Yeah.
It's terrible music, but it might grow on me.
It's happy music, though. I like it.
I want to play for you guys and the audience a clip that's a little bit long. I don't know if you guys have noticed in general what it is that's happening to local news. I know I lament all the time the great danger in the fact that local news is falling apart, but I see it on my newscasts where the anchors are wearing cheaper clothes than I'm used to them wearing in the 90s. The sets look like they're stuck in the 90s, some of them, because local news has not had a money transfusion. But on local news yesterday, none of you are watching 6 p.m. local news, correct? That is not, put it on the poll
Absolutely
at Le Batard
not.
Show. Are you still watching 6 p.m. local news, yes or no? But yesterday on the news, they had an exclusive on Channel 7, and it made me both sad and worried for Warren Sapp. Now, in the history of South Florida, I don't know that I can name a lot of sports personalities bigger in our entire history than Warren Sapp. Go ahead and come up with me a list of the biggest personalities that we have had in this market. Because before I play this clip, okay, I will tell you on the front end that my experiences with Warren Sapp is that sometimes he is legitimately the only athlete in South Florida history that I've ever feared, because he behaves with me a couple of different times in a way that's very intimidating and makes me feel like he's trying to make me feel small, physically, emotionally, and otherwise. And other times, he's hugely affable and really nice, and I never know which one it is that I'm going to get. Now, I've heard him talk about how much CTE he feels like he already has. I've heard him talk about having to write things in his phone to remind him how to get home. He played a very violent physical position. But when I saw this piece last night on the local news, my worry for him in general went through the roof. So watch this video here. He is warring with the Hollywood Police Department.
I came to ask questions of my government.
The NFL great providing an exclusive interview to 7 News days after we broke the story of a court order he must follow connected to testy on-camera encounters with Hollywood cops and city employees. He was issued a notice to appear in court after another contentious encounter.
You feel this is your calling now?
This is.
Now that you're doing this and a champion of people's rights and the First Amendment, why do you need to go into the police department and to City Hall and get to the point where you're this close to getting arrested?
Am I?
It looks that way.
Sergeant, I'm going to make you arrest me today. I promise you I ain't.
What do you think of the judge and the court order from Thursday?
Have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
What am I required to do?
You got to call twice a week.
I call every day.
Okay. You can't be around.
Ooh.
You can't be around the third floor in the records department. Don't you think there's a thin line, though, between being a steward of the First Amendment, someone who is paying attention to laws and trying to get people to ask questions and think and take video, and being someone who comes across as a jerk?
I've never been a nice guy. So you think I give a damn about what you think of me?
Do you like being perceived as a jerk?
Is that it?
I'm asking.
No, I'm saying, is that that's the word?
Didn't you just say that you've
I just
always
asked.
not been a nice guy? So don't, is that
no,
like your
nice
thing?
guy and jerk are two distinctly different words.
All right,
What do you
let's just say not.
How about asshole? That's a different word too, right?
That's a word you used, but if
No,
you want to use that
I'm
word,
definitely using the word. I'm giving you examples.
Okay,
so jerk. What degree would you put jerk?
What is the end game?
Transparency and accountability. Because what happened to me in City Hall was a crime. I was assaulted by the officer.
Sapp says he was assaulted by a cop during a 2025 exchange.
There's a court order. Are you going to stay away from the third floor?
You're like an officer. I don't need to answer you.
I'm asking.
I don't need
This
to
is my
answer.
job,
I know.
is to ask you
I know.
questions.
So
That's all.
Next question.
What about the city employees they told you to stay away from? You going to stay away from them? You don't want to answer that one either.
Next.
Hollywood police say his demeanor has become increasingly aggressive when encountering city employees, to the point where some feel unsettled and intimidated.
It isn't done.
It ain't done.
Tell me. Tell me what you mean.
I got a June 10th court date, brother. It ain't even done. It ain't done. No, not even a little bit. I got to go and listen to them. You saw they moved it to the mental health division, right?
I did not, no.
Check that one.
So do they think you're mentally unwell?
I don't know.
Are you mentally well?
Excuse me?
Are you mentally well?
Are you a doctor to be able to diagnose that?
No,
Okay.
but I'm a reporter who has got to ask questions.
Me either. I feel well every morning I wake up, brother.
That's important.
I don't have no issues.
What are your thoughts there, Greg, as someone who's covered him since he was in college?
I'm a little worried for him. You mentioned CTE. He could have a degree of bipolar. Mental health issues are in play there, perhaps. I don't know. Like he may be just looking for attention. I don't know what he's doing for a living now, whether he's still on TV. He used to be. He's not anymore. I don't know enough about his life right now to sort of diagnose what I feel about that, except to say I feel bad for him.
Okay, so you did sort of diagnose him with bipolar, but I will tell you, okay, and I've said this before, it's Mental Health Awareness Week, and there are dangers in being a doctor when you don't know what's going on. But before I go down this path of talking what specifically happened with my brother that makes me recognize some of what it is that I see there, Zaz, your take was what on what you just saw?
Yeah, I lean more toward I'm certainly not willing to diagnose him as someone who has a mental health issue going on right now. Like, to me, I think he's coming off as someone who was upset about an incident he had with the police in 2025 and thinks that he understands the system and his rights better than everyone else around him. Like, he's clearly motivated. He has a motivation here, what he's trying to accomplish, and I feel like he's coming off like he knows more about it than everyone else.
Well, he may have indeed been wronged, and there are a number of ingredients here that can make that so, including just the climate in this country and where it is that a black person's relationship can be with the police. And so when you get the detail that this court date is in the mental health portion of the facility, it may be because he's having mental health issues that are empirical, or it may be that they're trying to make him look bad because they're trying to set up the case against him. But when my brother looked the same in all ways, but was himself a different person with whatever the episodes would be that have mania in them and bulletproof, he thought he was right and everyone else was wrong, and that he could overturn the entirety of the system. And a clip we didn't play there that you would have seen that could have escalated is a police officer says to Warren Sapp, "If you touch me, we have a problem." And Warren Sapp says back, vice versa, "If you touch me, we have a problem." And that's where those things shoot into the sky. And then you get all sorts of problems. This didn't feel stable to me. Like, he can be right and in pursuit of justice, and I may have this wrong, but when I'm watching that interview, I'm seeing both the Warren Sapp I've seen since college, who can be anywhere in terms of tempest. I'm also seeing what looks like in his eyes when you're watching the video, a craze. Like, it looks like this. When he's calling it his cause, I'm telling you, I saw with my brother. I did not recognize my brother at the end because of whatever it is that happened to his brain chemistry that needed something that he wasn't getting. But it looked like that. Like, it's just, I'm right about this and everyone else is wrong.
That's the impression I got from watching that. He knows better than everyone else. Now, it could be exactly what you said, that there's a mental issue going on there. But at the same time, what I just saw there from Warren Sapp, also to your point, not that far off from what I've seen from Warren Sapp over the years.
But the reason I want to have the conversation with you guys, okay? It's easy for all of us now to diagnose Antonio Brown, but when you have somebody in New York shooting all over the place and killing himself in front of the NFL building and leaving a note that says, "I have CTE," and then he is diagnosed with indeed CTE, my question to you is, what do you think it looks like? What do you think? When you talk about Mental Health Awareness Month, what do you think it looks like? Because when you have some of these kinds of displays where the behavior seems unstable, it doesn't seem like a righteous fight, though it may be. I want to keep saying, I don't actually know if he's been wronged, I know that however he's going about trying to fix it, that's not going to work. Like whatever it is that people see there, when you pair it against him also saying, look, I have CTE. I have trouble finding my way home. I have to write things down so I know whether I've done them or I haven't done them.
And so nobody can argue if he's saying he has CTE and these are the symptoms and these are the results and this is how CTE has changed my life. That's, he's an eyewitness to his own pain. When I see that, if I'm Warren Sapp's mother or his partner or his best friend, I see that and I worry for Warren Sapp. I am very concerned that this is the beginning of really going off the rails.
I want to re-ask the question, though. I remember being on when the Ray Rice video broke and saying to the audience, what do you think domestic violence looks like? Because that video was sort of illuminating to a lot of people that one of the tiny guys in the NFL would have domestic violence look that way. You were reading about it in the paper. You weren't actually seeing it. Since we don't know how to diagnose concussions in the NFL with the world's best doctors, since brain chemistry is a complicated and difficult thing that the science is evolving on, I will ask you guys again, what do you think it looks like? Because if this doesn't reach you when it's one of the biggest personalities in the history of South Florida sports, a Hall of Famer, if it doesn't make you feel some kind of way, I don't think we're actively thinking about very much. What does it look like? What are the consequences of battering your face against somebody in a way that can get 20 sacks, up the middle of the field in a season?
Right.
What does that do to your long-term health? Because if he's already telling you he has all of the symptoms, and this is the behavior, where are you inclined to think when they put the hearing in a mental health facility? Are you inclined to think that he's mentally unwell, or are you inclined to think that the police are doing something to smear him?
I'm inclined to think that he has shown indications of a mental health issue, and I'm not surprised that the cops have put him in that division. I think that's what CTE looks like, is that kind of behavior. The thing that scared me about that is that in 1 second, he's being very angry, and with good reason. The reporter basically called him a jerk or called his behavior jerk behavior. He didn't bring up that word first. The reporter did. If somebody called me a jerk in that context, I'm probably pretty angry too.
But it came off of him saying, I've never been a nice guy, which isn't something you hear very often from an athlete.
I know, but the thing is, in the context of his career, in the context of what made him famous and successful, not being a very nice guy worked to his benefit. He was the guy you were afraid of if you were the center of the opposing team. In real life, now in retirement, there's a whole different connotation to not being a nice guy. When you're fighting with cops, that's just plain dumb. I'm not saying, look, if I'm going to put it in a tiny little context, I'm usually overly nice to cops when I get stopped for speeding or something. But there was this one time I got stopped for going 47 in a 40. And I'm like, is it the end of the month? You got a quota to meet?
Oh, no.
No, I did. And obviously that didn't go over well, and I got a ticket for this and something else having to do with my car. The point is, you don't win a conversation with a cop, let alone an argument or a beef like that.
He doesn't even realize how privileged he's speaking in order to be able to feel free enough to talk that way to a police officer.
Because he talked that way to a police officer, he tacked on another thing.
Yes.
That happened to your car.
Correct. Yeah.
It's compounding the issue.
I know. And it was, normally I'm overly nice, and that's gotten me out of a couple of tickets as well, which is white guy syndrome perhaps. But in Warren Sapp's case, he's not doing, and that's the thing that scares me right there. Look at those eyes. And when you go from being extremely angry 1 second to looking at the camera and grinning the next
That's
second.
an unfair photo.
It is unfair. That is media unfairness.
They could have put
That's unfair.
any still
That's
shot
unfair.
from that interview.
That is absolutely unfair. That is media bias. That is sensational. Shame on you, Channel 7.
I was surprised to learn his middle name's Carlos.
That was a swerve.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Are you surprised to know that Warren Sapp's middle name is Carlos? Can you guys get me a list? If we were making a list of the top 5 biggest personalities in the history of South Florida sports, would Warren Sapp indeed make the list?
Yes.
He would make your top 5.
I wrote down a list of 10 or 12 names here I can read.
But would he make your top 5?
I'm not sure if he would.
Because you said yes flatly. You also said you weren't going to diagnose him and then diagnosed him as both bipolar and having CTE.
Well, first of all, my concern is that he may have bipolar. My concern is that, based on visual evidence and that kind of thing. I never said he said
That's
CTE.
a strange place for one of your catchphrases.
Okay. It worked better than, and you know it. No, I think that he said he had CTE,
That's
right?
correct,
Okay,
yes.
so I didn't say it. I'm agreeing with him. Yeah, Warren, I think you do have CTE.
You did say it, and he did say it. I'm just pointing out your general flimsiness in terms of consistency.
Okay. The one thing I want to emphasize is that, and we're having a couple of laughs with this, that's not a funny matter, what's happening with Warren Sapp. I wish him well because, like I say, if I were his best buddy or his neighbor or his loved one, I'd be concerned for the guy.
I've just never in my history in South Florida had this particular relationship. Now, when he was in college, I interviewed him one time when he was at a frat house. I just went and did the interview. And from the beginning, just an amazing talker and a giant personality. Just had so many opinions. I was legitimately startled by the interview because of how good it was, because this was a person coming into the league that is generally pretty conservative, and the personalities weren't like this. So give me some of the lists, some of your names when you were to put together the biggest personalities we've ever had in South Florida sports.
If I'm starting chronologically, I'm starting with Ray Hudson of the Strikers, who at halftime would conjure up, funny, colorful quotes he was going to say to the media after the game. The coach of that team was Ron Newman, who once popped up out of a coffin to announce that their 3-game losing streak was over. Antonio Brown.
Actually, can you just stop for a second?
Yeah.
Because you were so excited to talk about the 1977 Fort Lauderdale Strikers that I want to give you your music so that you can have the floor to tell us about sports again from 50 years ago.
I mean, what can I tell you? The Fort Lauderdale Strikers were one of a kind. They played at Lockhart Stadium. They sold out an 18,000-seat stadium. Ray Hudson was colorful, white as a milk bottle, because he was barely 20 years old. He'd just come over from London, or a suburb of London. All of a sudden, he's in Fort Lauderdale, which is a dream of his. The NSL at the time was big. They were pretty big at that time. Ray Hudson, colorful, just engaging. Like I say, he literally devised quotes at halftime. The coach is talking, and he's thinking of what he's going to say to amuse the media afterward. Love that guy, still do. He's been on the Greg Cody Show podcast a few times.
First guest ever.
Ron Newman was a colorful coach. He was to that team probably what Ron Frazier was to UM baseball. A lot of colorful figures.
All right, can we get in this century, please?
Okay, I mean, I have a list here. I have a whole list. As recently as Jimmy Butler, I think, fits this category of outsized personalities. Michael Irvin is absolutely in my top 5. Matthew Tkachuk, I think, is Jimmy Johnson. If we're going outside of players to coaches, Jimmy Johnson, absolutely. Ray Lewis, of course. Ozzie Guillen, Marlins manager for a minute, had his moments. There's been a lot of colorful characters. Most of them are also very accomplished, and most of them are very successful. Not all of them go off the rails.
Zaz, none of them have gone off the rails except perhaps, well, you're right. Ozzie and Michael Irvin, I should say.
Ray Lewis had a couple of moments.
Actually, yeah, see, you know what? I stand corrected.
Who stayed on the rails?
My fault. Zaslow, what would be your top 5? Does Warren Sapp crack your top 5?
No.
Wow.
That seemed aggressive. It seemed unnecessarily aggressive.
It's just an answer to a question is all it is. Efficient.
Exclamation point.
Number 5, Joey Porter. Number 4, Chris Anderson.
Birdman.
You know about that Birdman? Number 3, Jose Fernandez. Number 2, Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
Number 1, Michael Irvin.
I'm offended by your list. You can't have Chris Anderson ahead of Warren Sapp.
Get offended.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. What are you doing? What? He's got a bunch of tattoos, and you're.
You know about that mohawk?
He was not a colorful talker. He was just draped in tattoos and was a white guy who could jump in the league.
And here for a season and a half.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable what you just did, putting Chris Anderson ahead of Warren Sapp. That's disrespectful.
I've got a couple more to salvage his list, Dan. How about Jose Canseco?
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
How about Ricky Williams?
Uh-huh.
Another good one. So if we
It's kind of quiet,
if
though.
we had to do top 5, I'm surprised if any of you wouldn't put Warren Sapp in your top 5. Like, you guys did not give me that whole list. There weren't 4 better.
Like Michael Irvin, I think is
Michael Irvin's the consensus.
He's
Michael
the
Irvin.
consensus.
Everyone would say Michael Irvin. Then
Would Jerome Brown be on there? Yeah, think about that one. Huh?
Not long enough.
Ray Hudson's honestly a good one.
Jerome
Ray
Brown
Hudson's a good
became
one.
more of a personality when he left the University of Miami. Warren Sapp was a personality from the beginning. If you want to go old school Greg Cody's time, I think Mercury Morris would have to be on any top 5 list.
Yeah, he was definitely a colorful personality. Some of these guys, like Ricky Williams, I think, was almost the opposite.
He's in the Birdman category where he was interesting, but the personality wasn't.
Yeah, like if anything, he was like introverted and wearing a helmet during interviews, and I don't know. And Shaquille O'Neal, I might take issue with.
What?
Shaquille O'Neal physically was larger than life.
What are you talking about? He's one of the biggest, metaphorically, one of the biggest personalities in
He
the history
arrived
of
in an
sports.
18-wheeler.
No, I understand. During interviews, though, if you weren't standing right next to the mumbler, the worst mumbler in the history of interviews, if you weren't standing right next to him, you didn't hear him.
Ricky wore a wedding dress on ESPN the magazine.
That was Dan's fault.
Yeah, it was Dan's fault. Yeah, contrived.
He still did it. It was my fault, though.
He was also with the Saints when that happened.
All right, here's our third movie line for Greg
God.
Cody.
Okay.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Oh. Good Morning, Vietnam.
No.
Close.
I mean, it's a war movie.
Black Hawk Down?
No.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
It's the same war.
Earlier.
Same war.
1970s. It's a movie from the 1970s. It's your wheelhouse.
I think I already guessed Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan.
That's
No.
1990s.
Think Vietnam era.
Vietnam. Good. That's why I said Good Morning,
That's why I said you were close.
I don't know.
I love the
What
smell of napalm in the
do you
morning.
think is the most famous war movie of all time? Apocalypse Now.
Oh, good job. Good job, Dan.
I wasn't naming the movie. I was saying what was happening during our show.
Is that the name of the movie, Apocalypse Now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I feel like we need to give my man a victory. I got one here.
You don't have one. You're not going to be
I've got one here. He
I don't wanna
can't
give him
screw
a
this
no,
up.
I don't want to give him a victory yet. I want to see no. Let's see if we can make him go 0 for 11. Put that one at the end, and we'll see if we can finish the show with him getting it right.
You don't want to give him like some some self-esteem.
Well, I will give him some self-esteem. I don't want to give him some confidence going into the game. It's better if he goes 0 for 11. I don't know why I have to explain this to you guys. Like, It seems like you've been in the business for a while. It seems like we've been doing this together
Right,
for
you
a
just
while.
want the same. Like, I don't really know.
Okay,
Over and over.
Okay, so you want to have range, just to be clear.
Well,
you wanna,
I think
you want to have range
Hey,
with the segment
as
that's
the
stolen
producer-
from the
listen,
Greg Cody Show featuring
As
Greg
the creator of the Greg Cody, Greg Doesn't Know movies, the best ones are the ones where you're like, he has to know this one, and then he'll still impress us and miss it. So I'm telling you, you gotta work some of these easy ones in.
Okay, and I appreciate.
Wouldn't we have said that, by the way, for every one of these already? He has to know this one?
No, they weren't typical, normal.
They are very famous movie lines.
Well, famous because you can recite a line. You should when Christopher and my other son are together in the house, their whole conversation is just going back and forth reciting lines from movies. Who has a conversation like that?
That's what guys do.
I know it's ridiculous. I'm ashamed to be a guy.
I'm the kind of guy that.
I'm the kind of guy who doesn't recite lines from movies. That's who I am.
retroactively, I want to go back a couple of weeks ago because Greg Cody has never been sharper than when I said that Ruben Bane is the greatest pass rusher in University of Miami history, and he went in and he said Ted Hendricks would like a word.
Yeah.
And he's
Hall of
right.
Famer.
Ted Hendricks, the Hall of Famer, would like a word, but was drafted in the second round in the 30s. The Hurricanes have never had an edge rusher drafted this high, correct? I think Bill Hawkins was drafted in the late first round, but this is the highest an edge rusher has ever been selected by the NFL, correct?
I think so. I haven't done the research. I think so. But as we all know, that doesn't always equate to success.
No, but it just
Tua Tagovailoa was drafted number 5 overall.
But I'm just saying, when the NFL was making its measurements on the investments that they are trying to put together in their business, they said that Ruben Bane has a skill set at pass rusher that is more valuable than anyone has ever seen while at the University of Miami.
Yeah.
Ted Hendricks then became a Hall of Famer, as you said, but that's I'm just talking about while he was in school.
Right.
The NFL has never valued more a skill set that can get to the quarterback than the one that Ruben Bane has had at the University of Miami.
I totally agree, and I think he's going to have a great career. But with the short arm thing, and there was a reason why he didn't go 5th or 8th. A lot of people thought he was going to go number 8 to New Orleans, and he dropped a couple below that. So he's not a perfect candidate.
My point is, though, given where he was drafted, I'm wanting to know from you guys, is it unreasonable to place the expectation on Ruben Bane as borderline Hall of Famer? Is that an unreasonable expectation to make based on the fact that the University of Miami has been playing football for a long time and there's never been a guy that the NFL has looked at and said, this guy has the skill set to do this better than any other guy we've seen at your school?
I mean, he was the most impactful defender on the second best team in the whole country. Yes, he has the potential to be a Hall of Famer, but right now, I mean, Jalen Phillips was drafted in the second round, I think, and he's had a
Where was Calais Campbell taken? How late was Calais Campbell taken? Because the only thing
right?
The only thing that I remember like this in the history of the university that would be comparable when I saw it on the field is the 3 guys. There's only 3 for me, and 2 of them are edge rushers, and the other's Warren Sapp. It wasn't even Cortez Kennedy for me, who went 1 overall. It wasn't even Cortez Kennedy. It was 3 guys I saw at the University of Miami that I said that guy could get to the quarterback at any level, and it's Calais Campbell, it's Ruben Bane, and it's Warren Sapp. There is no 4th for me.
I mean, Jerome Brown was pretty good. Cortez Kennedy, you mentioned. They've had a lot of great defensive linemen and edge rushers, a lot. And I just...
Greg, they have not had a lot of edge rushers. They've had a lot of great interior defensive linemen. They have not had a lot of great edge rushers.
They've had, outside linebackers, edge, however you want to define it. They've had a lot of great pass rushers. But I don't assume anybody is going to be a Hall of Famer. I don't assume Fernando Mendoza is going to be all that. He has to show it.
Jalen Phillips drafted 18th overall. Greg Rousseau also back into the first round. Calais Campbell, second round, 50th pick overall.
I was way off of Calais Campbell.
Bert Kreischer.
When you're taking your shirt off and using your body as comedy, you're going
That's Florida, bro.
You're going maximum Florida, man.
That's Florida.
When did you decide to start doing that? When was it encouraged? When did that become your signature? The idea that you're up there just throwing your body at the people here in a tight pair of jeans, shirtless.
The jeans have gotten tighter the fat I've gotten. They weren't always tight. My daughter said Baby Walrus needs to move out of skinny jeans. I started doing it just to cheer myself up, because you get on the road and do like a Thursday night and you'd be like, I got a whole weekend ahead of me. This is going to be a long weekend. I'm missing my family. It's not sold out. So I would rip my shirt off and kill a beer to make myself giggle, because I thought it was silly, and to remind myself this should be fun. And then one night I was in Columbus, Ohio. I ripped my shirt off and killed a beer, and then something happened in the room and I forgot to put it back on. And one of the comics I respected was in the back, and he was like, bro, you just did a whole hour with your shirt off.
And how does this work with comfort with your body? Because not everyone can do that. You're the first to be doing that. Not everyone is comfortable enough with their size to be in front of thousands of people shirtless like that, because it is funny.
It's interesting, because I have this reverse body dysmorphia. So like, I heard a story, secret time. Obviously, I'll tell you, but secret time. I heard a story that Chris Pratt was a fat kid growing up, and that someone told me like he'll always be fat in his head. No matter how great of shape he is, he'll always think of himself as a fat kid. I was in shape as a kid, and so I do not see myself fat at all. As a matter of fact, I think in Razzle Dazzle, I look low-key jacked. I think I look better than I've ever looked. My shoulders, dude, look at my shoulders.
You are jacked.
Oh, yeah. You got some cuts right there. You see it there?
I mean, I'm feeling good. I feel great about my body.
The new Netflix stand-up special, Razzle Dazzle.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Bert, stop making those
Never show
faces.
your belly button.
Yes.
Do that thing where you're...
Let's increase your female viewers.
Make your boobs move.
This is a body you can get.
Razzle Dazzle is the stand-up special. How old would you have to be? What is the age if I came up to you and said, Bert, you're not going to believe this, but the new movie, Machine, it's in theaters in May, and Razzle Dazzle, a Netflix special, is happening. At what point in your career, at what age would you have said, yeah, that's a possible dream?
Oh, 50? Where I am. I didn't think any of that was going to happen.
Coming up today on the alley-oop, ding dong, the Lakers season is over. Ding dong, dominating is not. What the hell is you doing buying a chain the day before you go to Cancun, brother? Come talk to me. As well as we crown Dylan Brooks the player hater of the year. Close follow, close second, my sister Trista, for what she is doing to make sure that these damn Detroit Pistons lose, man. You don't want to miss it. Lock in.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Did you guys find it interesting at all last night? This is unusual. That Wemby was being celebrated as a story of redemption.
So weird.
And the amazing return on the story arc of a guy who did something profoundly dirty during an NBA playoff game and probably wouldn't have been playing last night if he had done that and been just about anybody else in the world. We're already starting a story that we're going to get really tired of 5 years from now if you allow the 7'3" guy to derail OKC and swing his elbows and be the positive story because he's French and a little different. Like, that was super weird last night to see him celebrated as a conquering hero because he's got 16 points in the first 6 minutes because he's bigger than everyone else and he's growing both physically and as a player, and this is going to destroy the league soon. You could have knocked him out for a game ESPN at least treated the return as if it was controversial, not, wow, this is heroic. The guy who's taller than everyone else is going to be better than everyone else.
If you didn't know the full context of what took place and you just turned on the game in the first quarter last night, you would have thought this was a conquering hero returning to the floor. I thought the way the broadcast treated it last night was so strange. It was that as if he was the one who was done wrong, and now he's back, and this is such an incredible story, this performance he's putting together, when the fact of the matter is he did something unbelievably dirty and probably cost his team Game 4.
But this is the Wemby propaganda that I've been railing against. Everything that he does is perfect. Everything he does is better than everybody else.
He was really good in that first quarter.
He was great.
last
Okay,
night.
he was great in the first quarter. He had 16 to 18 points. That's not the point. The point is they were cheering him like if he had just come back for like Ricky Pearsall got shot and came back.
It's true. It's true.
A heroic return by Wemby. I'm surprised part of the narrative wasn't, thank God he didn't hurt his elbow on that guy's jaw. You know, it was over the top, but expected.
All right, you say expected, but I wanted to take this a step further with these conversations. I told you guys the other day, they showed Adam Silver on the screen on one of these streaming services, and they started talking immediately about what a fantastic job he's done. Jeff Van Gundy's no longer on the broadcast, at least in part, because he doesn't speak glowingly enough about the league. You can rest assured that the streamers are going to speak well of the product they've just gotten into bed with. So I ask you, do you care if this is compromised? I'm not saying it was last night, but if you're into storytelling, I'd like the whole story. I've said this before. I don't want just the pieces of it that are sanitized and packaged for me. And you have to make sure these are partners. These ESPN ended up in a whole lot of uncomfortable positions with leagues as partners because they were aspiring to journalism. These other entities are not. These other entities don't care about that, and you don't have to care about that, and the public at large has shown they don't care about that. So I'll ask you again, when Wemby gets framed as something that is framed exactly the way the league wants it framed, are you suspicious? Do you wonder at all if everything is bought and what's getting diluted there is a version of the truth? Because that was asinine last night. That's one of the dirtiest plays in the history of the playoffs. And he's returning to the league like, we really need you now, big guy. Somebody's got to knock off this boring, droning thing in OKC. You here for something new? We'll change the MVP just to make it something new. We'll give out awards that are diluted just because we want something new. Are you guys good if I tell you? I'm not accusing the league of this. I don't think there are any meetings on this. I do know that these corporate partnerships compromise the partners. Like, that is something that you have to be willing to navigate, and ESPN didn't have to get into the journalism business and did, and the leagues didn't like it. The number of times, Greg, that they'd get a call from Manfred about me, from LeBron about me, that where ESPN is getting the call, and there has to be someone there to protect you. When the partnerships are involved and the partnership is the overarching thing, there has to be somebody there to protect the voices that are willing to be honest. But if the public doesn't want it, if the streamers don't want it, if the league doesn't want it, you get what you get last night, which is these playoffs have been bad. The games are not close. Nothing has been good. That's a star. We can't suspend him. Rules are different for him. And also, let's keep this story going exactly the way it goes, even though that's one of the dirtiest plays in postseason history.
Yeah, it is, and that's why he got ejected. I mean, there is debate on how grievous that was, considering it didn't cause grievous injury. I don't think it was a grievous foul. But
but if it had, if Naz Reid had fallen down unconscious for the same action, then you would think that.
Yeah, and we discussed that yesterday. That's exactly right.
But I'm saying it's not the action that you're criticizing. It's that he got lucky with the result because it was dirty enough to knock a man out. Yes or no? Yes or no? It was dirty enough to knock a man out.
Maybe. I can't answer
in the right
that.
place, absolutely.
I mean, that guy with just the way that the body, you've seen him stretch during yoga, right? And you've seen how kickers and pitchers, their strength comes from their legs. That guy swinging the slingshot of his elbow when it's coming from his feet, yes, that can knock anybody out.
If he got him between the eyes, he'd have been dead. You know that's what happens when you hit someone between the eyes. You always have to be careful when you're in a fight because you don't want to hit someone between the eyes. If you hit him right between the eyes, they could die, and that's murder, Greg. Could have hit him between the eyes. He would have killed him.
Is that? I've never heard that before.
All between the eyes. Everybody knows.
That's how they did Goliath.
Everybody. That's exactly where David was shooting with that little slingshot and the rock. That's how he got him. If the rock hits him like in the chest, you think Goliath is going down?
Absolutely not.
Not a chance. He hit him between the eyes. Dead.
I thought that was biblical hyperbole.
No.
That was biblical truth.
Actuality. Thank you, Zaz. Actuality.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Did you know that if you hit someone square between the eyes, you could kill them?
That's murder.
I did not know. I'm learning that now. That's not something I've heard before.
You ever been hit between the eyes?
I guess not.
Clearly not, Tony.
I don't believe that. I'd rather be hit between the eyes than in the eye. Don't poke me in the eye. If you want to start a fight, poke me in the eye.
You didn't know this, correct? He's claiming something as a fact. Roy, do you have any information on this? He's claiming something as a fact that I don't know to be a fact, and I've got to tell everybody in the audience, okay? This is the most confused I've ever been in terms of what are facts and what are not facts. 1 out of 4 Americans in recent polling think these assassination attempts are on the president of the United States are made up. AI and general social internet rot is making it so that it is very hard to discern what is true and what is not true. What is fact here?
Well, he's right about David hitting the Goliath.
That's not the part I'm asking about.
No,
that's biblical.
That's written down.
Called precedent, Dan.
Also not hyperbole. It was actual. It happened.
Okay, here's the reality. Slingshots are not real accurate, okay, particularly if you're from any distance at all. I used to be a slingshot user. As a kid, slingshots actually were pretty popular in the 60s with Ute, and I used to do the slingshot thing. They're not real accurate. It's like I would liken it to dart throwing. Okay, you get a bullseye every once in a while, but you can sling 10 shots without.
Greg, you're talking about the Y that has the little pullback string on it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was one of these. Where it was like.
No, it was one of those. David had one where he went over his shoulder and then
those
threw
weren't
it at him.
the first one wasn't invented yet. David was using the more primitive
the old
version.
School one.
Where
Sling.
Dan, he killed lions and bears in the pasture. Did you know that?
What was it? Just a rock at the end of something like a cloth?
Yeah.
Less reliable than a slingshot.
He was a sniper with it.
Well,
Roy, that
whatever
doesn't
happened to Dave?
That doesn't answer your question. I apologize.
I need the information of whether or not Zaslow has it correct when he says that everyone knows that if you hit someone square between the eyes, you can kill them. And he's advising fighters, even if you have a chance to win a fight, don't win the fight that way because then you're going to end up with attempted murder. I don't know if any of what he's saying there is true.
Whatever happened to Dave? He gets a lot of credit for slaying Goliath, but what did he go on to do with his
Became
life?
king of Israel.
Did he?
God's most favorite son. Wrote the Psalms.
Okay.
Did a lot of stuff. Again, if you open the Bible, you'd read it. You'd
Other
understand.
than that,
He had some success.
Yeah, the whole thing with Bathsheba.
Bathsheba was a mark, yeah. But God redeemed him.
It's been a
It was
minute
okay.
since I've read the Bible.
Isn't there a giant movie called David that is either
It's a show.
Just coming out or has come out?
Excellent show on Amazon that is, through the life of David, King Saul and everything. Very, very well done.
I stand corrected. I didn't give Dave enough credit.
It's an odd way to flout your ignorance, though, to go after a figure in the Bible knowing nothing and saying, what did he ever do afterwards?
One of the most important figures of the Bible.
With no facts whatsoever
none
behind.
whatsoever.
And also correctly underestimating the group enough to assume that no one's going to know anything or call you on it.
I didn't know we had biblical scholars in the building.
I don't
here.
think that
stand
takes
corrected.
a biblical scholar.
I think it does.
David is the greatest underdog in league history. That right there would be J.J. Barea knocking off Wembanyama. I want to get back to the story because the giant guy never gets to be beloved. I've told you guys before that Shaquille O'Neal famously would do magazine covers. When he was doing magazine covers, they would do poorly, even though people thought he was popular, because nobody roots for Goliath. Everybody's rooting for David. Wembanyama is clearly Goliath. Paul Pierce is saying already that's the best basketball player there's ever been. Paul Pierce is already saying that he does all of the little things. That's the best player we've ever seen play basketball because he can do everything, and it's unfair. It's legitimately unfair how big he is. Mm-hmm. And generally speaking, people don't root for that. The reason the guys in the NBA who are talked about as the best ever are never Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's always the wing guys. And it's because we enjoy the humanity of it. It seems more normal. It's still not normal. I've told you guys the story sitting courtside with Valerie, and she's watching, and she's like, who's the little guy out there, the little quick guy? How tall is he? And I'm like, that's Tyler Hero. He's taller than I am. And she's courtside, and she can't tell how big he actually is because these people are giant human beings. Kobe, Michael Jordan, these people were immortal because it seemed like they could be bigger and better than height. That height didn't matter. But Wembanyama is now here to save the league. He's here to save the league from OKC. He's here to save the league from all of our beloved popular guys are now old. And yesterday he gets celebrated exactly the way the league would want, the Spurs would want, as if nothing happened in the last game.
Yes, Dan, as expected, a severe hit between the eyes can cause death. A significant impact to this area can result in catastrophic trauma, including skull fractures, brain damage, a ruptured globe. That leads to fatal complications. The proximity of the eyes to the brain makes this area highly vulnerable, particularly with penetrating trauma or intense blunt force.
Greg, why are you laughing?
Who refers to it as a globe? What are you referring to as a globe?
I'm not referring to anything. I'm reading something that doctors put down.
Okay, but what's a globe? Is that another word for skull? Call it a skull.
That's what you're laughing at?
Yeah, why are you calling it a globe? A snow globe. I mean, what's a globe is never referred to the head. I'm diverting attention from myself because I'm on the wrong end of the shot between the eyes. So
I'm not comfortable with how much the video team is enjoying using AI. I'm not comfortable in general.
That's good, though. You got to admit, that's
ethically, how much AI is distorting things. I don't feel like I'm good with our general lack of ethics and overall laziness in using AI, which is coming to destroy the world as a toy.
What's the right ethics to use AI then?
To get things right. I would
do.
say, no, AI does not get things right. What has been happening lately, look, I don't mean to sermonize, okay? But the amount of misinformation out there that is making everyone in the world be confused about what's true and what's not true is only going to get worse. And there is a breathtaking amount of look this up and get the wrong information. Like, it's not... The search engines have been contaminated, and everything you're looking up to find out what's fact and what's not fact is harder to find what's true than it was 5 years ago. This feels purposeful and it feels dangerous. And I know we like our toys here, but there's a lack of ethics involved in we're going to all regret this in I don't know how many years.
Dan, I think the confusing part, though, is if you're dealing with a cyclops and you hit the cyclops between the eyes, that area between the eyes with the cyclops is actually their eye. So can it cause death by hitting someone between the eyes that is actually their eyes? You got to be careful. You might actually have an out if you're dealing with a cyclops, Greg.
I don't think a cyclops is real or has ever been real. Is a cyclops not a fictional creature? A cyclops has never been a real thing.
They're extinct.
I don't think it was ever a real thing.
I think it was.
So the cyclops was a human being with a one-eyed human being, one-eyed what? What kind of animal was a cyclops?
A one-eyed purple people eater.
Oh, you almost had it.
I know, damn it.
He's fading.
Wasn't Goliath a cyclops?
He's fading.
He was a Nephilim, different story.
No?
We've been doing this show for 80 minutes. He's got a stamina issue. Let's do a movie to see if we can confound him.
All right, here's our next movie line.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Okay, I mean, this is too obvious. I think there was a movie called Fight Club.
Did you play the one that was obvious, even though I told you
That's
not
actually
to do
one of the more
that?
difficult. No, we
Is
have
it
easier.
called? My answer is Fight Club.
You don't have easier than that. How can you have easier than that? All he's going to do is listen to the clip.
There is one easier.
There's no.
There is. There's another one. There is.
You want that one now? Or?
How can that not be the easiest?
It's not
one?
the easiest
I'm
one.
telling you, with the Greg Cody doesn't know movies, that has worked many a time where
What
we
do you
put
mean?
the title in the question
3 times.
and he doesn't get it
3
right.
times you put the movie in the title? 3 times, because he would have missed it the first time. But when Brad Pitt's repeating himself.
Who knew it was Brad Pitt? I didn't. It's another guy without a distinctive voice. I want a question from It's a Wonderful Life or The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, requests?
Then I'm going to nail it.
Brad Pitt has a distinctive voice.
No, I don't think so. Imitate it. Do your best Brad Pitt.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
That was good, Dan.
What?
You asked me to impersonate it, and I did.
Yeah, okay. Well, that was right on. Spot on.
You asked me to do it, and I did, and I showed you one of my hidden talents.
We're having fun, though.
I can't believe that you
Unremarkable.
can't make it that easy. Do you have another one? I'd
Keep
like
the
to.
easy ones coming.
No, this doesn't work. The game doesn't work as well if he gets them right because you make them too easy.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
Leave the gun, take the cannoli?
Greg.
No.
Is that what he said?
Yes, that's what he said.
Okay.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
Goodfellas.
Unbelievable.
You're close.
You are close. Maybe the only one that's more famous than that in terms of mafia movies.
Casino Royale.
Oh, my God.
That's a Bond
That's
movie,
a
but you're
Bond
close.
Same genre, almost.
That's not
Yeah, close.
No, put it on the
Espionage.
poll at Le Batard Show. Is the James Bond franchise mafia movies?
I have no more guesses.
Wait, I want to stay here for a second. The biggest, most famous movie ever made involving the mafia is?
Oh, The Godfather.
Yes.
But which one? There's like 9 of them.
Well, that's from the first one.
Okay.
There's 3 of them.
I think that's the most famous line from the first
I
one.
don't think so. I saw The Godfather, and that's not a remarkable line to me.
I don't think you saw it.
I did.
I don't think you
I
did.
saw The Godfather. Yeah, Marlon
don't think you
Brando
did.
doing his thing. Yeah, I saw it.
Give me
The second one was better.
That one had Robert De Niro in it.
Damn right it did.
Al Pacino
Now that's
as
an
Cody,
and-
as Cody likes to call, as Cody likes to call.
He must have been confused. Like, wait, it's the same guy. What are you doing?
Well, they are interchangeable, and everybody knows it. You know.
But the polls came back yesterday saying that everyone didn't know
It was a close vote.
It wasn't that close.
I think it was 57%. Get Juju on the line. He'll verify it.
Give me one more movie line. I don't know how we're going to do better than that. I didn't know how we'd do better than yesterday when he had Al Pacino in both Raging Bull and Bull Durham.
A blind Al Pacino.
All right.
That's a good correction.
All right. Here's our next line.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Roads? ROADS?
Yes, as in street.
Where we're going, we don't need them.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Okay, it screams Western. How the West was won.
Well, part 3 was.
There
Part
you
3
got
was a
the-
Western.
You got the Ticonderoga wagons rolling over rough terrain. You don't need roads.
No.
No,
Now I'm
that's
closing
not
my
right?
eyes and picturing someone on a horse saying,
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
How the West was won.
wrong.
You said that one already.
I did?
Yeah.
Is that the only Western you know?
Yeah.
Really?
That's Blazing Saddles? I mean,
That is a Western.
that didn't sound like a comedy.
Good movie.
That guy.
How is it that you've gone the entirety of your life sort of this oblivious to just general pop culture things? If I feel like movies are very high on the list on sort of fast forwarding any kinds of friendship connections just for easy conversation. If you do not know what to talk about with somebody on a first date, at an awkward cocktail party, I feel like movies are very high on the list of just easy fluency that a number of people have with the same language.
Yeah. The problem is I don't need that kind of a crutch when it comes to small talk. First of all, I don't do small talk really as a habit, but when I do, for example, I was having a conversation before the show began about the comparative art form of knitting and crochet. That's something I'd much rather discuss than, some line from a movie.
Well,
or
thank
something.
you for doing that, because the reason you were discussing that and we were discussing that is because Steve Sarkisian did something, okay? He went old school with this, and I really don't feel that Steve Sarkisian, with his particular resume, should be lecturing anybody on how to do anything. But he was perfectly comfortable saying of Mississippi, they don't actually go to school there. We go to school at Texas. They can get away with basket weaving. And the reference struck me as straight out of the 1950s. It was something an old person would say. And furthermore, basket weaving doesn't seem easy to me. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Does basket weaving seem easy to you? Because this is something you've heard since the 1970s. What's an easy throwaway class? Basket weaving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't believe that is a class, or has it ever been a class? Like, why is basket weaving the cliche of choice here when he says this of Mississippi?
I don't know the origin of that, but it's the opposite of easy. Last time my wife and I were in Key West, at the Sunset Pier, we bought a basket that we saw weaved. It was made out of palm fronds, very supple.
Nothing to do with what he asked.
Very supple and dark green. But as it ages, it gets more
Did
brittle.
you listen to anything that I asked you, or do you just wanted to go on a meandering route on your own, just a little Greg Cody adventure with your own thoughts?
I saw a basket that was weaved
Yes,
once.
and therefore I have a firsthand respect for the art form. So when people say liken basket weaving to something easy, it couldn't be further from the truth. I dare anybody out there to go weave a basket today out of any material you like, and you'll find it's not that easy. Anybody knows the interlocking weave of a basket, but how do you tether it all together? That's the key.
The term is called underwater basket weaving to show the easiness of the class that you would be taking as an elective, underwater basket weaving. So I'm going to see what universities offer that.
So wait a minute. I guess it's just because that doesn't actually exist is the joke then, right? Because there's not such a thing as underwater basket weaving. The joke then becomes that the classes they give are not a class, that are not a thing that anyone has to take. We'll call it underwater basket weaving, but it's not something that exists, or is it because we actually weave baskets underwater now?
Why wouldn't that make it more difficult?
I just don't understand what the reference is, why the reference started, and I'd like to know why Steve Sarkisian is using it. I would enjoy having some factual information.
It is the tongue-in-cheek elective. If you're going to take something in school, it's going to be underwater basket weaving. A couple of good notes here. UC San Diego offers a weekend workshop through its rec class department. Rutgers University has occasionally offered it through scuba and aquatic departments. So you can do underwater basket weaving at Rutgers via the scuba school.
What is underwater basket?
They give you the basket and you weave it underwater.
But why is it easy? Why would that be easy? Why would putting a basket in the water and then weaving it be an easy thing? And how the hell did it become the cliche that Sark is going to when he's making fun of Mississippi not going to school? I had not heard the phrase basket weaving since I was in college. I hadn't heard anyone use it.
I just don't understand, why are we busting on Ole Miss? Ole Miss has never had any success in football until this last year. They're like the poorest state in our entire country. Why are we taking shots at Ole Miss?
Ole Miss is like Sark, never had any success at football. Keeps getting pretty good jobs. Perfectly fine as the bully punching down on Mississippi, talking about their education.
It's weird.
You got the best quarterback in the country. You got a draft class in Texas. You got the best job in the country. You got the best job in the country. And I don't think you should have it. I mean, it's rare on the resume to have a guy who's drinking on the job at one job before, like where he ends in a scandal because he's just drinking at work, allegedly. And he pops up real quick through the Nick Saban
he
rehab,
went to that Saban
the rehab program, and you get the best job in the country. Usually it's a little bit harder than that.
Going back to the underwater basket weaving situation, tying a little bit of a tie to Vietnam era, it was actually talked about as a SNAP course, which taken by students to maintain draft deferment and has since evolved to represent any useless, overly specialized degree or class.
I want to give you a stat from ESPN when we talk about Wemby and returning as a conquering hero and how close he is, because he's really close to ruining the league for a while. This series that has Anthony Edwards in it, Wembanyama has more blocks than the Timberwolves have made field goals when he contests their shot. I told you first 7 games of the playoffs, he had 35 blocks. There's an extraterrestrial playing basketball who's going to get better at basketball, and celebrate it while you can, because this is going to become less fun when he's reaching from the free throw line and just dunking on everybody in the league because of how dominant he is. I don't think this is going to feel quite like Shaq, who had a dominance advantage that felt similar because I've told you before, Shaq underachieved by only winning 4. Great as he was, and great as winning 4 is, because 4 is hard, he underachieved given what his dominance level was.
Not only that, they had 50 shots in the paint last night, right? They scored 68 points in the paint, which is an insane number for a Game 5. When you're coming back to your home court, you're trying to get things going. It was insane, but the cool thing is about Wemby, when he's running a pick and roll with De'Aaron Fox, he gets to a point where you just throw it up as high as you can, and literally nobody else can get it. When he spins off and runs to the hoop, it's the easiest play in sports. Throw it up to him, he catches it, he dunks it.
He's a good player.
Yeah, it's not quite Clint Capella. Back when we were changing all of basketball with positionless players, this is more authentically what generally wins in the NBA. It ain't from the perimeter. It's the efficiency of I can dunk, I can get closer than anybody else, I'm taller than everyone else, there's no one to block my shot. The other big story from basketball yesterday, I'm just curious how you guys feel about this. Daryl Morey was cited as a bit of a pioneer. He did do something that gets forgotten that I think will become the greatest part of his legacy, but I will ask you guys how it is that you'll remember Daryl Morey, because I don't think he gets another job. I don't think he's allowed, not that job, not the job that has the power to pick all of the players, but the greatest thing that he did with Mike D'Antoni said to James Harden upon meeting him, you're going to be somebody who takes 15 threes a game and you're going to have 15 assists a game. And James Harden's quote was, "Coach be tripping," because he didn't believe that he would be that player. That was all Daryl Morey seeing the market inefficiency of threes. I'm going to pick up the pace and I'm going to play threes. But the sport catches up to you. So the legacy of Daryl Morey as he's fired by the Sixers, and the process is an enduring failure for all time. Joel Embiid, best he's ever done, is the worst that LeBron's ever done. The best Joel Embiid has ever done is the worst that LeBron ever does. Getting swept in the second round of the playoffs this year by LeBron, that's as bad as it gets. It's about as good as everything gets with Joel Embiid. He's their best player. They've got him locked in for 3 years. What's the Daryl Morey legacy?
Traded for James Harden. Like, that's his legacy. That made his entire career. Traded for James Harden. Harden became a superstar with Houston. They were never quite good enough. I mean, Morey made a bunch of moves, pairing guys with him. Chris Paul, Dwight Howard. They were never able to get over the hump. And his entire career has been made from trading for James Harden.
I think his career is going to be, he thought he was the smartest guy in the room when he was at one point. And I think at Houston, when he was in Houston, he struck gold and he thought it was going to be an avalanche of gold. And then he realized it was a couple of specks of gold with James Harden, then tried to recreate that, and then tried to consistently be the smartest guy in the room because he had gotten success at one point, and now he looks back and he's like, man, I made a lot of really stupid moves.
For me, his legacy has ended badly, failed in Philadelphia.
that's the end of it. That's not what I associate with him. I associate the Houston stuff with him, and also failed in Philadelphia, where everyone failed. You guys are saying traded for James Harden, helped make James Harden an MVP, helped improve the legacy of James Harden. Here's James Harden, though, telling you what he thinks at a Chinese basketball camp about Daryl Morey.
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. Let me say that again. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of.
Couldn't hear you the first time. Thank you for repeating it.
That is such a vibe, though, choosing to do that in China, where the audience isn't responding to it because it has to be translated.
Where Morey also had some things to say about China. You remember he got in a little bit of trouble a few years ago.
Yes. I want to play the sound here, Chris, if you would,
Yes.
of Daryl Morey with us. We can now empty this file. He came on with us, and he talked about a play that he wrote called Small Ball, and there was sex involved in basketball players.
Do we want to have sex with giants or know what's between 4 and 6? How to bring the parts into compliance? I just cannot grasp the mechanics.
Was he singing?
He was trying to. He was sort of.
Did I just hear?
I think we kind of made him do it, if I remember
No,
correctly.
he wrote it on a page, and we just asked him, can you recite some of the lines? And he decided to go into song because it was a musical. It wasn't just a play.
Do we want to have sex with giants or know what's between 4 and 6? How to bring the parts into compliance? I just cannot grasp the mechanics.
Yeah, see, he lost some confidence there at the end because he realized he was singing poorly.
He had
and
compliance and science there, and then he went mechanics.
Yeah, he wasn't going to get a lot of opportunities to do that. He realized by the end of it that he had blown the one that he got on a play that he wrote. He is a bit of there's a creative in there, and the job that he had only allowed so much creativity.
More so what my parents would call un inventor, which is what they called me.
Did they?
An inventor.
An inventor? Wait, like Thomas Edison?
Yeah, but more poorly. More things I would make to fastidiar. Just to be, how would you say fastidiar in English, Dan?
Joder.
Joder, yeah. Joder.
Yeah, somebody, an instigator.
All right, it's time for our next movie line.
I drink your milkshake.
No shot. No.
I drink it up. Don't bully me, Daniel.
No shot.
See, this is just unfair because the other things, the other lines you read, I've heard of at least. You know, I can't think of one offhand, but the other ones you read, I had heard of. This one, I have zero.
Do you want to
clue.
try and recite again the Fight Club line? Do you want to give that a shot? Just the line on the one that you got. Do you want to give a shot at the pop culture line that is referenced in Fight Club?
No, it was like 3 sentences that all had Fight Club in them. You know, it's a guy pimping for his own club, I guess. I don't know.
You don't know what this movie is? Do you know who the actor is? Do you have any idea who
Hey, let me hear the
actor
voice
is?
again.
I drink your milkshake.
No, I don't know who that actor is.
It's Daniel Day-Lewis. Do you know anything that he's been in? Can you name
one of his movies?
A Daniel Day-Lewis movie?
I know Dan Lewis has a great reputation.
No one
Dan
refers.
Lewis.
No
That's
one
his move.
refers to him as
That's his
Dan
move.
Lewis.
One
He
of his
does
moves.
have. He's
Dan Lewis.
He's one of those guys who like really gets into the role.
Yes,
right?
he's a method
You know.
actor,
Yeah,
yes.
method actor.
Uh-huh.
You know, so I guess a lot of people.
You like that when
respect
actors do that? You like that?
Not so much. You're an actor. You're faking it. You're pretending. I don't want you to immerse in the role. You know, the key. Don't gain 50 pounds for the role. Be thin and make me believe you're a fat guy. That's what acting is. Anyway, I don't know the name of that movie, nor do I have an educated guess.
Put it on the poll. Be thin and make me think you're a fat guy. That's what acting is. Yes or no? Just all one word. I don't think that's what acting is. But that one's too tough. There Will Be Blood is. Yeah, well, it's not that tough, but it's obscure compared
After
to
the
some
last
of
one, I wanted to get tougher.
Yeah, well,
that was the name of it. Okay.
Oh, you didn't even know when he said There Will Be Blood that that's a movie.
Right. Why is there a hyphen in his Day Lewis thing? What's that all about?
Dan
Day Lewis, though. It's Day Lewis. Pick a name. Anyway.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Daniel Day-Lewis, pick a name. Yes or no?
Not big on
He's right about
hyphenated names.
Give me another movie, please, with our terrible, terrible public domain game show music.
All right, here's the next movie line.
I love black people. I love black people. Who's your motherfucker, Jerry? You, my mother. What you gonna do, Jerry? Show me the money.
Okay. My clue is the word Jerry.
He hasn't gotten any yet.
No, he got Fight Club.
I got Fight Club.
He got Fight Club because we gave him the name of the movie 3 times in the quote.
I mean, to be fair about this one.
No, what do you mean to be fair? This one's pretty obvious, Greg. Especially, Greg, it's sports, Greg.
Oh, it is.
It's sports. Let's play it again for him.
I love black people. I love black people. Who's your motherfucker, Jerry? You, my mother. What you gonna do, Jerry? Show me the money.
Oh, Show Me the Money. Is that the name of the movie? Show Me the Money?
No. Hey, the Hockey Show has live streams throughout the rest of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Please join us as we get to enjoy all the teams that are left here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Dave, are you ready?
I am thrilled. I'm exhilarated. I'm excited. I'm psyched. I'm ready.
What about you, Rosie?
I can't wait to pick my team. Woohoo!
It's the second round. You're
No.
picking a team.
I'm picking a team now.
Ethan,
Bye-bye.
Ethan, what about you?
Always fired up to watch some playoff puck, Roy.
All right, the Hockey Show. We're doing live streams of the Stanley Cup playoffs throughout the end of the playoffs. Please join us.
Sunset Gears with comedian Rob Delaney.
I really am thrilled to be doing this, Rob, because I admire your work a great deal, and it's rare that I find somebody from afar that I've been wanting to talk to because their story seems somehow something even more admirable to me. Now, you might not view it this way. I don't know how much nobility you think there is in your story, but in watching the art that you've made and watching the life that you've chosen, it's sort of been a pleasure to watch your work grow and to see, you know, the things that you are choosing late in life to do artistically.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. Thank you, and thank you for acknowledging that I am late in my life. There's a refreshing honesty to that. I am 45, so I'm well more than halfway.
45 is late in life.
I mean, I do think about it though sometimes though. Like I'm definitely more than halfway done, and that's funny. Isn't that funny?
How does
But
it feel to be told that you're late in life by someone who is considerably older than you?
Who's a great deal older than me? It's strange. I wonder, does he know things about, does he have access to my medical file? Has he seen things that I haven't seen?
I just feel like I feel through your art like you've lived more than I have. It's really what I'm doing there, in the having of 4 kids, in the choosing work-life balance, in learning life's lesson. I just think that I was atrophied as a young person.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the things that that I've experienced that maybe most people haven't are, I did get sober 20 years ago after going to jail after a car accident that I was responsible for, and I've stayed sober, so that's been pretty cool. I've had the unbelievable good fortune to make a living in comedy, and of course I didn't for a long time before I did, so that was challenging. And then, but the biggest thing would be that my wife and I, one of our sons got cancer and passed away a few years ago. So those are the big things that I've been through that I think, are place me in sort of a strange minority. I think I covered it all.
Well, life-altering things, right? Because arriving at comedy success must have been the realization of your dreams, right? You came from, your comedy story there aren't a lot of people who had comedy success the way you did, just sort of discovered by social media. I can say that, right?
Oh, sure, yeah. It came at an interesting time because I was trying very hard to get hired by, say, Jimmy Kimmel, Conan O'Brien, writing jokes by the stack, by the physical paper stack, because I'm submitting 2-liner jokes, by the pound to try to get hired as a late night writer. So then Twitter comes along and I've got piles of jokes that no one will pay me for, no one wants. And I send them to people and they're like, no thanks, or these are great, but still no thanks. And so I had a place to focus this stuff. So it was sort of a right place, right time kind of a thing. So myself and, many other people around the same time figured,
Historically, I have tried to do professionally in whatever is the ridiculous clown car of the second half of my media career, something that zigs while others are zagging. And so I will tell you that I am very excited that we are having success selling journalism in the modern age, because it's not really something that people are looking for to make profit, and we're on in more places than we've ever been. So I tell you, if you want to do podcasts, it's Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music. If you want to do radio, it's Sirius XM Channel 85. If you want to do mainstream stuff, it's Peacock and NBC Sports Now, Monday through Friday from 12 to 3, or YouTube. And if you want to join us in the future, it's DraftKings Network, it's Samsung TV Plus, it's the Roku channel, it's Vizio, WatchFree Plus, and others. Also, you can get Juju and Trista after games. The remaining playoff games are going to have a lot of Juju and Trista after them at DLS Hoops on YouTube. They're going to join us now here because I want to have a lot of basketball conversation. But before I do that, did we find any facts on whether or not other human beings have the exact voice somewhere in the world that you have? Or does every human being who has ever lived have a unique voice? Because it's not something that I'd considered before. Trista, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yes, I think that guy who's like, yeah, see, yeah, got me, copper. I think that's Adam Shine.
I also think nobody in the history of Earth has my voice, but I guess we'll read the polls on the post-game show to determine.
Both of you have super unique voices. It's one of the things I always think of this thing as an audio thing more than a visual thing, and I love how distinct your voices are. But did we get factual answers to my question about, it seems implausible that every single person who has ever lived, there's never been anybody who has had my voice. I'm more willing to believe it with Tristan and Juju, actually,
Dan, you've
because I've
scarred
never
us.
heard a voice like
You've
those.
scarred us, and we're afraid to trust the internet, so we're not going to say anything.
Ethically, I can't look it up, so.
Okay.
Morally, I can't either.
All right, so we'd prefer to be ignorant than wrong.
No, not ignorant. Be ethical
Well,
and moral.
And are we using AI? Are we gonna consult Claude on that? Is Claude trustworthy? And where are we
can't do
where are
that
we
either.
at on using AI for these types of things?
Also, do we get to use some of Greg Cody's WGS, white guy syndrome?
That's
that
right.
skews things.
Yeah. Anybody got a set of encyclopedias? Go to the V, look up voice in the encyclopedia, and maybe that has the
He's right
information.
about that. That's what we have right now because he said we can't use search engines. We can't use large language models. So where are we at, Dan? Encyclopedias?
Dad, you just redecorated and you're cleaning out your office. Did you
Yeah.
get rid of those encyclopedias that you still had?
No, I still have them.
He has
They're in a plastic tub in my garage right
Whenever
now.
I didn't know anything when I was a kid, my mom used to always tell me to go to the encyclopedia and look it up. I hated that shit.
A plastic tub? Your encyclopedias are in a plastic bathtub that is in
No,
your...
not a bathtub. A plastic, what do you call it? That storage
Container.
bin. Storage bin.
Let's
Bathtub.
talk about what it is
Bathtub.
that we were talking about before Trista and Juju came on. Trista, did you find odd the conquering hero status that Wemby was framed in last night?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Everybody is talking about, oh yeah, we love Wemby. We're just waiting for this to become super annoying like it was with Shaq. I lived through the first round, guys. I already hate Wemby. His face is smug, the memes. He's kind of psychopathic when you think about it. He smiles. He immediately changes his facial expressions in a way that makes me feel like there's something not right upstairs. The elbow. I know, besmirching. It's 7:20, 7:30, and my time. And the besmirching is already right there. I don't like Wemby. I don't like what he's about. I think
Thank you, Trista. Come to the dark side. We like you over here.
I've already been there.
Oh, no.
I think because he reads, people are giving him more of a benefit of the doubt. They're like, oh my God, he reads books in the locker room before the game. How civilized is Wemby?
We've got two of the largest Wemby haters anywhere. You guys have beaten everyone else to the rush on hating Wemby before.
Oh, what's
he's
the
won
water
anything.
filter you're using, Gobert? Like if Gobert knows. Give me a break.
We got three of them because remember, Mike Ryan was the first on the mountain. He said Wemby is gonna ruin basketball, bro.
But wait a minute. No, these are different criticisms, though. And I know you like to keep it positive. You don't have very much hater in you at all. But these are different criticisms to say he's going to ruin the game and to say I don't like his personality. I don't like who his essence is.
Right. But I definitely agree, though, that my boy should have got a game because now if I'm the Timberwolves, if I'm the Knicks, it's elbow time because I see the precedent that's been set. I'm going through your chest, sir, and I better not be suspended.
I want to get from Juju some thoughts here on Daryl Morey and what his legacy is going to be. What are your thoughts there?
Every time y'all say Daryl Morey, I think of that play he was in because we had video from that play y'all played earlier too, and he was celebrating, and I was like, boy. But I came up with a top 5 moments from the process that I think Daryl Morey will be remembered as, even if he wasn't responsible.
All right.
OLI.
OLI. All right, let's do it.
Bro, OLI, you got swept by the Knicks in a home court takeover, cuz. That is the worst. But number 5, you drafted Markelle Fultz over Jason Tatum. Number 4, you drafted Ben Simmons over Jaylen Brown.
It's going to be a good list.
Number 3, not the first time he said it, but when James Harden repeated that Daryl Morey is a liar. Number 2, Joel Embiid crying his ass off when the Raptors won the game.
That's going to be as close as he gets, isn't it? That's going to be as close as Joel Embiid gets to the championship.
And the number 1 moment for me for the process, Ben Simmons holding up that fish on the boat as if it is all over.
What are your thoughts here, Trista, both on Juju's list and how this will be remembered? Because I don't think Morey gets a top job again.
I like the list a lot. I think the list, we have to define what the process is because I feel like it's pre-Morey and it's post-hiring Morey. And like the things that were super egregious were really the Brian Colangelo things. To me, I feel like Morey is one of the best talent evaluators in the league. And if you look at it like a grocery store, the GM's job should really be going out and getting the best ingredients for the chef, aka the coach, to cook up. Daryl Morey knows how to pick ingredients, y'all. Like, truthfully, some of the best draft decisions, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jared McCain. The problem for Daryl Morey is he doesn't know really when the ingredients are ready to expire, and he doesn't care about sale prices. He goes to Wegmans over Trader Joe's. He's getting Paul George at a premium like it's peak Paul George. I think it's because Daryl Morey is ugly that he gets as bad of a rap as he does. And I think that they hired Bob Myers, who honestly, like if you look at what Bob Myers did after Jerry West left, has been trash. We can go down the list. And they're also now rumored to be hiring Neil Toxic Workplace Olshey. You're talking about two good-looking guys, just like our guy, the serial killer as well, who is good-looking, Ted Bundy. And I just think that we need to start evaluating people not based on how they look, but the decisions that they make.
Okay, I need to stop her on a number of different fronts, and I did it way too late here. First of
she's
all,
right, Dan.
Did you answer my question as to whether he will work again in the league? You're thinking that he does because of what you're saying as the top guy in the league? It's the full power position.
I thought she said no because he's ugly.
No, I don't think he gets the top job. But I would keep Morey on, just in terms of like draft evaluation, because both of those guys can't draft worth a shit.
Juju, why did you throw the penalty flag? Because she's sitting here having analysis that none of us could have. This is not fair. This is not equality. You can't.
I can have it. I second it.
You can't come after Daryl Morey this way and just say he can't have these jobs because he's ugly. I've never heard that analysis before.
Can you imagine? This is why I love having Trista as a partner, because she can say things I could never dream of saying. Could you imagine if I had this take on anybody in the WNBA? No, I would be canceled.
Well, that's because women, Juju, are highly sexualized and men are not sexualized. So that's just the way it goes. Ugly men get to get jobs. Ugly women, not so much.
Yeah, Juju.
I'm sexualized. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think this is a lane for. I think we should have Trista on as a lane, a correspondent, whether or not this person or that person should have a job based strictly on whether they're good looking or not. Because Bob Myers is getting chances. You're saying that the resume.
That hair, Talabinga.
He's looking like Quasimodo. You think he has this job?
Come on, look at what Bob Myers did.
Looks like
after
Kramer.
Jerry West left. He drafted James Wiseman, who was a bust, and really there was no real reason to draft James Wiseman because he didn't even play that much in college. He drafted Nico Mannion. He just drafted Justinian Jessup. Do you even remember that guy? Drafted Jonathan Kuminga, and then they didn't use him. Drafted Moses Moody. That's probably the one that you could say, okay, he's all right. Did the sign and trade with Durant for D'Angelo Russell. Got Kelly Oubre. I just feel like, why are we talking about Bob Myers like he's some sort of genius when it was really 44 that was the genius?
You better preach.
Trista, I'm going to read you a couple of transactions here over the Daryl Morey lifespan in Philadelphia. Traded Mikal Bridges. That's already
No, that wasn't him.
No?
No, that was
Good
not
start.
him.
That was Colangelo?
Yeah. That was Colangelo. 2020, the Tyrese Maxey year is Daryl Morey's first year.
Okay. So cut Isaiah Joe for 40-year-old Dwayne Dedmon?
But drafted Isaiah Joe.
The mechanic.
But not there anymore. Because he traded him.
I said you don't know. He doesn't know when the vegetables have expired. They're still
These
fresh.
are two good corrections. Keep going. Keep going.
And he's
Correction.
moving
I
on
don't know.
from
The
them.
second was a correction.
The second,
He moved off of Isaiah Joe, who's now a big time player.
but she's saying he had the insight to see that was a player. Not everyone
I
saw
agree,
that.
but this is the cold hard facts of the transaction. Not that he knew a guy was going to be good and then ended up.
But she's making. I think she's making an important distinction that I'm not hearing a whole lot today. In the coverage of Daryl Morey, what I am hearing is failure. I'm hearing all over. I'm not hearing all over the place. One of the best talent evaluators in the game. She's saying something most people are not saying.
Traded McCain for a bad 22nd first-round pick.
Sold high on him.
Drafted Jared McCain, which a lot of people thought was not a good draft pick, and now we see what he can become. Nick Nurse, for all of the things that we say positively about him, maybe he's not a very good chef. He wasn't using Jared McCain that well. Now Jared McCain goes to a place with a great chef, and you see what a star ingredient that is. When you have a guy that's buying the ingredients and the chef can't cook worth the shit, he's like, maybe I'm just getting the wrong ingredients. It's like, no, Daryl. You get the ingredients great. It's the people around you that are not doing a good job.
It's okay,
making
Dan. I
the
got it
most
right
out
here.
of them.
I got it right here.
Yes,
He cut Julian Champagny so Mac McClung could participate in the slam dunk contest.
That was a bad one. That was a bad one.
There we go. There we are. Speaking of a bad one, a couple weeks ago, we was making fun of my brother Dave Damshek and how he was holding his arm when the Pat Narduzzi photo.
This is tough.
Brother Dan, you got some nerve. Look at my boy Dave. First of all, yes, that arm is awkward as hell.
Yeah, bad
Salute to
arm.
my sister Lucy and Rose and big brother Pat. But Dan, you had a picture with Kevin Hart, brother. I think he forgot about. Video team, what is you doing with your arm, big bruh? Is there a ghost?
I feel like that is an arm that's not proportional with the rest of my body.
it's too long, your arm.
The arm, it reminds
skinny
me.
arm.
It reminds me of like a Chris Elliott character. Do you guys know what it is that I'm talking about? The Chris Elliott character with tiny hands and very
scary
short.
movie?
What is wrong with
strong
what is
arm.
happening there?
My germs?
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Do you know who Quasimodo is? Because Zaz made a reference there that I think is dated enough that most people don't know what you're talking about. Does everyone here know what Zaz is talking about when he says Quasimodo as a famously ugly person, Greg?
Yes, I do. I know Quasimodo.
Everyone here knows? Yes, Trista?
Yes, I know Quasimodo.
I've heard the name Quasimodo, but I don't know if I could pick him out of a lineup.
I think that's who I thought the Notre Dame mascot was, right? This guy.
That's right, the leprechaun. His name's Quasimodo.
At Le Batard Show, if you want to vote on the polls. Juju, can you fix flopping, please, for me in the NBA? Come up with a solution. You're good at coming up with ways that we can get rid of some things that the American people would enjoy having removed from the landscape.
Exactly. My sister, video team, y'all crazy. My sister, she made a great point on the alley-oop yesterday, bro. Like, if the referees could get it right, we wouldn't have none of these problems. But it's so much faking and flopping going around that y'all tricking the damn refs and thinking it's a foul when it's not. Chet Holmgren, I'm looking at you. So I think that moving forward, flopping, if you get caught flopping on this damn instant replay, 5 minutes, bruh, I don't give a damn. You're out of the game. Somebody can come get you, but at the same time, you're out of this game. So in crunch time, 5 minutes left in the game, SGA, good luck. You feel me? What do y'all think about that?
Any thoughts? What do I have here?
I like the idea. Seriously. Because it walks a fine line. You're not ejecting them, but you're doing more than just getting a couple of free throws out of it. You're making them sit for 5 minutes. I think it's a brilliant idea.
You're not talking like hockey, right? I'm making sure I understood you. Like they're not down a man. You can put someone else out there, but just that guy's got to get off.
Yeah, no power play.
I'm in on
power
this.
play might be a little too extreme.
That's too much.
But
right.
Yeah, we got to get somebody else in for you because, brother, sit down.
I'll keep working on it. Let's see if we can get it to a place where we can bake it and have it ready for Adam Silver in a way that has it. Because that's good. That's better than yesterday. 4-on-5, nobody was going to accept it. That's better than yesterday. Trista, we skipped right past something that you said. How real is the rumor that the Sixers are going to hire Neil Olshey, who fired from a Portland toxic workplace? Like, what are the details here that people need to know on how it is these guys get recycled no matter where it is they're coming from?
Nepotiz is how it happens. Bob Myers and Neil Olshey are friendly or friends. Both came from the agent to GM route. But again, like Neil Olshey is, a silver fox. He's got a big smile. He calls you babe. He says he's gonna hit the head. He pats you on his shoulder, and you're like, yeah, this guy's kind of fun. But when you
Wait a minute.
Wait a
minute. I just want to see what your character assessment is. So someone slaps you on the back, says, I'm going to hit the head, and you're like, this is a fun guy.
Throws in a babe, too.
He says, hey, babe. He slaps you on the back. I'm going to hit the head. You say, fun guy.
This guy's trouble is what I really say. I'm like,
He's the kind of guy that...
He's the kind of guy that I can get to say anything.
I'm gonna hit the head. Why is he announcing that he's going to hit the head? And why does that give off fun guy to you?
Well, it gives off machismo like Neanderthal. And those guys are notoriously up to no good.
Okay.
Like, those guys like to have a good time, in my opinion.
Wants to let you know he's leaving the building. He wants to let you know he's going to the bathroom. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, he's courteous. He's telling me, hey, I'll be right back. Babe, I got to hit the head, but I'll be right back.
All right, put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. If the silver fox calls you babe and says, I have to hit the head, is he allowed to have a toxic workplace? Because does that make it a toxic workplace by itself?
Oh, 1,000. If he does that, when that piece of news came out, I was like, this makes all the sense in the world. I could have told you that the first moment that I met Neil Olshey, and he said, hey, babe, I'm going to hit the head, like 6 months into his tenure as Portland Trailblazers GM. And I think he gets a lot of credit because of the Damian Lillard draft pick, but that wasn't him. That was Indiana Pacers GM Chad Buchanan and Kevin Pritchard. Well, it was actually Chad Buchanan, who was the interim GM at the time. But yeah, like Neil Olshey is the kind of guy that will curse you smooth out. There's a famous story about him talking about Nick Batum, who's now on the Clippers. He would say, we could swirl a dead cat in the arena and throw it against a fan, and that fan would be a better player than Nick Batum. Again, just more data for the toxic workplace that Neil Olshey will say anything, do anything, but he's good looking. Like, look at him. Pull the phone up again.
Dead.
Good looking
Why
man.
the cat gotta be dead? Just
Who knows?
throw a cat. My boy, get him out of here.
Can't swing the cat alive.
Hey.
You gotta be dead. Then you try to swing a cat
It's
alive?
got to be dead. No, it's got to be dead. In order to hit someone between the eyes, like David would have Goliath, you've got to swing the cat, a cat that's dead. If you throw it that's alive, that's a workplace violation. That's dangerous. You can't be doing that. I'm sorry. I heard the music the first time. Here is a movie quote that Greg Cody is not likely to have heard. Greg Cody, do you know what this is from?
One chance to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom.
But they'll never take our freedom. Lord of the Rings?
No.
Close.
What's the hint? Atlanta Braves?
Remember the Titans?
No.
Further.
You think that's a football movie involving Denzel Washington?
Remember the Falcons?
No.
One chance to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom.
Okay, that's a bad Irish accent. Who's known for a bad accent? I don't know. I just don't.
Ten Commandments?
Do you
Ten
recognize
Commandments.
the
Right.
voice? Do you recognize
not.
in keeping with our conversation here about voices being distinctive, do you recognize this voice?
They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom.
Yeah, I'm picturing that actor. I can't come up with his name. He's full of himself, that actor.
He's not that well known.
That's not narrowing it down,
Okay,
though.
who
I
am
think
thinking
he's
of?
like
Name a full of himself
famously-
actor.
He was in Lethal Weapon. He was in the Lethal Weapon movies.
Nah,
That's
Joe
not going to
Pesci.
help you at all.
Like
he was
that's-
in
like
Mad.
that's
He was
supposed to
Mad.
help
He was
me.
in Mad Max. One of his
Glover.
first movie.
No. Was there a horse in that?
That was obviously Juju got it right. That is Daniel Glover in Braveheart.
Daniel Glover.
Dan Lewis is who I was thinking of, the full of himself actor.
Do you still not know who it is? I just said the movie. Do you still? What is the name of the movie?
I don't know.
But I just said it.
Say it again.
Braveheart.
Braveheart.
Thank you, Trista.
Oh,
thank
there it
you.
is right there.
Thank
Okay.
you, Juju.
All
Again,
Now, that's a good-looking man.
at DLS.
Who also has gotten away with atrocities because of his looks.
There you go.
What do you say?
Yeah.
Hit the head, babe.
Juju.
Throw that wham in a circle. If it's little, make it jump like a hurdle, man.
Hey.
Show.com, man. Log on.
At DLS Hoops. Yes, famed anti-Semite. Mel Gibson. Not Daniel Glover. Daniel Glover was not the star of Braveheart.
You are right, Dad. There was a horse in here.
Take our lives, but they'll never take.
Oh, classic Winnie.
Also, it's Danny Glover.
Put it on the poll. Would Braveheart had been a better movie if it had been Danny Glover instead of Mel Gibson Jr.? I can't believe that we have stumbled correctly on the idea that no one in history has had a voice like anyone else in history. It just doesn't seem possible, and I don't feel like we've gotten accurate information. There has to be a guy in Bangladesh who sounds just like Tony. You can't tell me that there are no. How would it be possible for no one to have exactly this whiny of a voice? That someone out there sounds as annoying as I do when I get to this pitch.
Can I ask the large language model, Dan, or no?
I would like some information here, and even if it has to be acquired unethically,
Okay,
I'm
I'm
willing
gonna
to
ask it.
take what it is that. But you could just do research better than that. You could also do
Listen to everybody's voice on the entire planet? No, sorry, I can't do that.
Get back to us on that.
I'm being told here voices are like fingerprints shaped by unique anatomy, including the larynx, mouth shape, sinuses, and vocal cords.
That sounds very AIE.
AIE?
You know what I meant.
Okay.
AIE is spelled
AIE.
with a Y, isn't it? AIE.
Aioli?
AIE is spelled with a Y. Put it.
Cannoli.
What movie is Leave the Cannoli from? Take the gun, leave the cannoli.
That was we already did that.
I know. That's why I'm asking you. I don't think you remember.
Of course I don't. Why would I? It's dispensable information. I don't have the bandwidth to remember every detail.
Can I give him
I've
an
ever
easy
heard.
one?
Extraneous detail is movie lines.
Because I have one more for sure that I don't think he'll know. I have one more that I do think
I'm
he will.
bothered by how good you are at selecting terrible music that I don't like at the beginning and then I end up liking. You have been consistent in finding just the cheapest possible music.
You have to go like this when you hear it.
He's dancing for people not watching.
That's just generic game show music. That's not actually on any game show, even though it's game show perfect.
But to give myself a little credit here, that's me taking like a snippet of this long song, and I'm like, dude, that's my moment right there.
Well, credit to you. What is the movie clip that you're saying? Is this the easiest one we've got?
This will be hilarious if he doesn't get this
Okay,
one.
but wait a minute. I want the best one for the end. I want the easiest one for the end so that we can ride the zip line. This is what I want to know, okay? Jeremy is, I think, making his first road trip with the Marlins this week, and so I want to put him on a zip line, and I want to do with him what it is that we did with Mina Kimes, and I want to do it successfully with him, but I'm worried about doing it successfully with him because it's been done as well as it can be done, and I don't want anticlimax from it. I want our very best and easiest one that Greg Cody can be wrong on. I want that to be our last one.
So I'll go with the second easiest one here because I have three more in the holster. I'm going to go second easiest. one that I think he'll still miss, and then we'll go easiest.
I also want to play this game again next week, so get another batch
Okay.
of them because I'm fairly startled by how bad he is at this, even though I know he doesn't know anything
A little
about
update
movies.
on Jeremy. We have been efforting all week to do exactly what you just said. Apparently, either he's lying about this because he doesn't want to do it, or it's not running currently. Like that zip line is just out of order at the moment, according to Jeremy. So luckily for us, we won't get a shitty sequel.
Mina is doing a new job before we get to this movie segment.
She's got a
again.
new job now.
She's got a new job now. Mina is hosting the National Spelling Bee. I loved that as a choice for her. It made me happy when I saw Nick Wright's nemesis, Mina Kimes, be in charge of the National Scripps Spelling Bee. And Pablo Torre has won a Pulitzer as well.
You think Nick Wright looks at the spelling bee thing and is like, damn, she got me.
I don't think so, but I
Okay.
think it's because he's in more of the common man lane, and I do enjoy
Rather go
how
play
it is.
Vegas,
That,
yeah.
no, I love how Nick Wright is winning by not doing what it is that Mina and Pablo are doing because he's being more of the everyman. I did want to ask you guys, though, something based on yesterday's conversation, because I have been both confused and frustrated by the fact that not only do I believe that America at large does not care about what the Pulitzer Award means anymore, but the people here in this media company who own something that has just won the most prestigious prize in the history of journalism didn't seem to understand yesterday what our ownership of this means. When I ask you, did the New York Times win a Pulitzer for Pablo Torre's show, yes or no? What's the answer to that? Yes or no, did they win a Pulitzer?
Yeah.
I think it's no.
Well, they're celebrating as if they won a Pulitzer, and everyone is saying they won a Pulitzer. They license our show. How can they win a Pulitzer and you guys don't understand that you won a Pulitzer? How can the employees of this company think that the New York Times won a Pulitzer when they lease that show, and we, this group of people here, doesn't feel like it won a Pulitzer when we own that show? Like, how does that even happen? Explain to me. Yesterday when we were talking about this, you guys were saying, well, the owners don't get celebrated in sports. They hand the owners the trophy. Like, they come at the end of the championship, they go and give the trophy first to the owner.
Right. The custodian's not on stage, though.
Yeah, but you guys made this. You guys made the award. This is not the custodian.
I'm saying not you. No, you're not the custodian.
You
yet.
guys
I'm
are
the custodian.
owners, though. You guys are owners in the company. Do you or do you not own a percentage of the company?
That's right, I do.
Yeah.
So when you guys were saying that the Pulitzer Prize is the MVP award, I think it's the championship. I don't think it's the MVP award. The MVP award is an individual award. I think this is the championship. I think Pablo Torre has won it in name, but Pablo Torre has a newsroom. Pablo Torre has a team. Pablo Torre has an assortment of people who are making it so that Pablo Torre wins the Pulitzer. But you can't tell me the New York Times can claim it and you guys don't.
No, I agree with that. I think what we're having is, even though I loved it when I was in high school, we're part of a group project where we really didn't do anything, right? Like, they did all the work.
I love
We're
those
standing in the
projects.
front of the class like, Zaz, can you
Loved
believe it, buddy? We got an A. Let's go.
My Twitter bio says Pulitzer adjacent.
You guys, we're the ones throwing the coal in the furnace so the train can move. Without the coal being thrown in the furnace, the train just doesn't travel. It just sits there. Like, you're saying that we didn't do the work, but the company provides the resources that other media entities are not willing to pour into the idea of journalism, so you're making the sacrifice so that it can exist, so that that kind of work can remain something that's rewarded, which ends up carrying the legacy of our media company. Like, it's, so we've won an Emmy. I know that awards aren't the reason to do this, but this particular award, when I think of the highest civilian honors, whether it's Purple Heart or, Congressional Medal of Honor, Nobel Peace Prize, Pulitzer is in the Hall of Fame of whatever it is all honors, American honors can be. to me. Do I have this wrong? Because I'm talking to Greg Cody, who's a journalist, and so he believes in the idea of this. But I was startled that most of my journalism friends, almost all of them, not only didn't reach out to me, had no idea it happened, just didn't know that Pablo had even won.
Yeah, that's surprising to me because it whether it's lost prestige or not because of the downturn of journalism, it's still the most prestigious journalism award. I think part of the problem with the Pulitzer is that it's fractured. It's not just journalism. It's for the arts. It's for poetry. It's a myriad of different categories. An example would be me winning a Pulitzer for Best Catchphrase Countdown.
Okay.
But
And you didn't win a Pulitzer for Best Catchphrase Countdown.
You want credit for that one too, Dan?
Okay. True or false? You're miffed at the New York Times for taking credit.
Not at all. No, I'm just confused.
It sounded like you were.
No, I'm confused. No.
Miffed at us.
I'm confused by you guys.
Dan, we're humble.
Let
Let the other people say we're Pulitzer winners.
The part that I'm not understanding is it's super rare for a group of people who own something to not take pride in what represents one of the great prestiges in the history of American awards. Like, I'm not getting it. And the only reason I'm bringing up the New York Times example is because no one, I think, disputes that the New York Times won a Pulitzer Prize because they licensed Pablo Torre's show.
I mean, if an actor wins an Oscar, how far down the list does that go? Like, does the whole studio believe they won the Oscar?
I think that the studios that win Oscars take great pride in being the studios that win Oscars and then get a ton more work because of how the industry regards the winning of that. As it regards media companies, it's an extraordinary accomplishment that one that has been alive for 5 years has won a Pulitzer. But it's more extraordinary to me that the owners of that company don't seem to understand what they've won.
Well, it feels like we work for Modern Family. And we're like under the ABC umbrella, and Pablo, the other show, won an Emmy.
That's a good example.
And it's like, I work for the same company, and I love Pablo, I love that show, but I'm not going to do a victory lap. I work for Modern Family. Still we're the better show than that other one.
All right, so when Meadowlark Media,
more popular show, but
when Meadowlark Media wins the Sports Emmy for the Comeback movie, one of the documentaries we've made, none of you understand the personal pride involved with, like, do you not understand what you own here when you're making things that are winning awards? It's just, how am I supposed to explain to the audience how to care about this when the people most invested in it don't seem to understand it?
I think that's the distinction, right? Like, we made an incredible thing, but like, we is like certain people. So I feel like for us back here, it's like we can't claim that we worked on certain things or that we are part of certain things that won.
It can't exist unless we're making money. It's like, which part of this? You guys this company invented that thing that won that award. It can't exist otherwise. It doesn't exist otherwise. How are you not getting that?
I just feel like if I was like doing radio hits, taking a victory lap, you'd be making fun of me for it. I feel like I can't win here.
Yeah, I feel like people object to the idea that Tony won a Pulitzer.
Can I tell my wife?
Tony owns a percentage of Pablo Torre Finds Out because he owns a percentage of this company. Hard stop.
Thank you. Tell my wife today. Babe, I'm a Pulitzer Prize winner. I'm going to go hit the head.
Give me some more movie music here so we can do another movie here with Greg Cody. He's ashamed and embarrassed. We've got 3 of these left. He is 0 for all of them except the one that named the movie 3 times in the quote. Let's see what we've got here.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
Greg?
Okay,
Greg.
It's The Wizard of Oz.
Okay, thank you.
What's your favorite movie of all time? Why did you pause on
We
that?
win just for how long that took you.
No. The hesitation was that it didn't sound like Dorothy. It sounded like a little 6-year-old boy.
There's no place like home. There's no place
You know what? He's not wrong. It does.
Did I get
sound
the wrong?
Like
That
a
is the
6-year-old
one.
boy.
That's the one at the end when she's like coming, like about to wake up, essentially.
I can't tell that is Dorothy. I
Thank you.
hear the kid from Sixth Sense.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Okay, but the line is from The Wizard of Oz, so I got that right.
Oh, that is from The Wizard of Oz.
Okay, that kind
That
of thing.
ambient music, by the way, just pulsates 1950s.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Is that a weeping violin? Is that what is the sound of that? That is just profoundly sad and gives off black and white television. Give me another movie, please, before we get to what it is you're alleging is the easiest of all.
All right, here's the last hard one.
Houston, we have a problem.
Oh, everybody knows that one.
But do you?
I'm not sure.
Do you know the voice? Do you know whose voice that is?
Houston, we have a problem.
Houston, we do have a problem.
He didn't say we do, but
Houston, we have a problem. Obviously it's the movie about the NASA and the space program.
Right.
Houston, we have a problem.
But who's the actor? Do you recognize the actor's voice?
Houston, we have a problem.
It sounds like Lewis.
It sounds like
It
Lewis.
It is.
It is?
It is. Yes. It
Okay,
is.
so-
Yeah, he starred in. It's Tom Hanks.
That's Hanks?
Houston, we have a problem.
a
That
younger.
does not sound like Hanks.
And the movie is Apollo 13.
You didn't give me a chance to answer.
Oh, okay.
I was fixing to say Apollo 13.
Houston, we have a problem.
All right, guys, the NBA playoffs are here. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, brings the excitement every game, all postseason long. When the lights get brightest, the best players in the world show you exactly who they are. Bet player props, bet live, and stay in the action the entire time. New DraftKings customers bet just $5, and you'll get $100 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN so you're ready for the moment. That's code DAN. Turn $5 into $100 in bonus bets instantly in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.